Hey everybody, I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Thanks for joining me on a Monday night. My special guest tonight is not only a fantastic singer, he is also a retired senator from North Carolina. He's got quite a career both in politics and in country music, and we're going to talk about his music tonight and play some of his beautiful songs for you. And it's an honor to have him on the show. This is the Honorable Senator Charlie Albertson. Charlie, how are you tonight?
I'm doing fine, Scott. Thank you so much, man. It's good to hear your voice, and it's great to be on your show where you play my kind of country. Please know that.
Well, your music is definitely my kind of country, so it's my honor to play it for our listeners, that's for sure.
Good.
And I want to thank our mutual friend, Big Country Wes James, down there in Valdosta, Georgia.
Yeah.
He is the one that actually got me turned on to your music, and then we were able to become friends, and now I'm privileged to have you on the show tonight. So thank you, Wes.
All right. Oh, Wes is a good one. He really is.
My gosh, you've had quite a career in country music. You've played all over the world, 26 different countries, I believe. You've played the Grand Ole Opry. Give me a little bit of your musical history.
Well, I do. I go way back, and I've been so fortunate and blessed to be able to play music, Scott. I was taught how to play the guitar by a blind lady here in my hometown, Beulaville, when I was 11 years old, and I got to know Jimmy Capps back in the 50s, and he and I became the best of friends. He's just one of the greatest guys, and probably my best friend, truth be known. And he helped me so much in so many ways, introduced me to so many people, and helped me have so many opportunities to play in different places, the Grand Ole Opry. And so I've had a good long career in country music, and I've enjoyed it. Look forward to it. Still look forward to it when we have our shows and can get out and play. So it's just meant so much to me.
So you're from North Carolina originally, right?
I am. I live right close to where I grew up, just around the bend, about a half a mile. True.
So what was your first outings in country music?
Well, the first record I ever made, one of the first records I ever made was made on Dale Morris's label. He had a little label, the guy who managed for Alabama all those years, and he had a little label called Dalmar, and I recorded one of his songs on it and did one of mine, so got to know him pretty good. And when I first met him, he was selling headache powders, I believe, for good and headache powders. That was years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I just got to meet so many people. And I was looking at a list of people who I had played shows with, Scott, the other night. There was a friend of mine over here, and she said, well, let's write them down. And I had more than a page. I had played Roy Acuff, Bill Monroe, David Houston, Loretta Lynn, Ray Price. I mean, just about everybody in the music industry. I have open shows for them, Charlie Pride.
Now, you traveled all over the world doing this. Now, were you doing package tours?
I was just doing a show by my band and myself. We went through 26 countries back in the mid-'70s.
Wow.
For the Armed Forces Professional Entertainment Network out of Washington. That was a great experience, Scott. I just, again, met so many wonderful people. I saw the world from a different perspective than I had ever thought about it or, read about it. I saw so many of our troops, right on the front lines of defense and freedom for our country, and met a lot of friends there, sure did.
Wow. What are some of the favorite countries that you got to play in?
Well, I went to Spain, Morocco, Greece, Turkey, Italy, Germany. Germany was a great place. We were the last group to go in Iran. I think you have an interest in knowing that. That was in 77 or 8, just before the Shah was overthrown. In fact, they had curfews in all the towns, but they brought us in at the last minute, and we were there for 8 days, I think it was. And that was a great experience, but I'll tell you, Scott, I was really glad when we got on that plane and left because, again, things were getting pretty tense in Iran at that time.
Well, you were gracious enough to send me some of your music a while back, and folks, I do want to mention that Charlie has a fantastic album. It's called 3 Little Words, I Thank You, and you can get that at Amazon and Apple Music. and just about anywhere that music is downloaded, you can
Yeah.
find that. But you also sent me one of your albums from back in the 70s, and it's called Honky Tonk Moon. And man, I'll tell you what, there is some fabulous music on here, some great songs, and you've got, you mentioned Jimmy Capps, and you've got people like Johnny Gimbel and Weldon Myrick. I mean, this is the Nashville A-team that recorded this with you.
I'm telling you, Scott, there was and I was thinking about it the other day. Not only were those guys the very best of musicians that I was so honored to play with, but they were great people too. I mean, they were just so good to be around and play with, and they were always had that happy smile on, and always ready, just do anything that you thought might add to it or take away from it. They were just great people to work with. I mean, but Johnny Gimbel and, like you mentioned, Clyde and Billy Linneman, all those guys.
I noticed on this album that Dave Kirby wrote and co-wrote quite a bit of the songs. Did you know Dave?
Just met him one time.
Really?
Of course, Jimmy knew him real well, and knew about his songwriting ability. And he was a great writer. Jimmy found those songs for me, and I was happy to record. Sure he was.
So tell me a little bit about this new album that you sent me. It's called Three Little Words.
Well, I went to church one Sunday morning, and it was while we had an issue going on here in Carolina about the lottery. And we were one of the last states, I think, on the East Coast to adopt the lottery. And it was real contentious. I mean, I was getting it on both sides. And I went to church one morning, and this lady asked me how things were in Raleigh. I said, well, it's kind of combative right now. She said, well, keep the faith. And I got to thinking about that, Scott, later on, and that's about all she said to me was three little words. I just got to think about it. So that was the background and the eye for the song. And you might have an interest in knowing. I'm working with a lady now. We're gonna be doing a song for our school over here, and all the proceeds from that song will go to the arts department in our schools here in Dupin County. So, and we hope to have that ready by the 1st of October. And I had Mandy Barnett was singing, the great Mandy Barnett. She's a great singer, you well know. And Jimmy's wife, Michelle Von Capps. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And, of course, Jimmy, he produced it for me.
I want to ask you about a kind of a controversial thing with Willie Nelson's band. Tell me that story.
Well, Willie came down here to our arena, and we have a large one, probably over 4,000 people. Scott, that place was full. I wasn't able to go to the show, quite frankly, but folks told me about it, and of course they were selling beer and wine on the inside, and North Carolina sent 13 ALE agents down to the show, which was no use for that. And everybody knew Willie smoked some pot. They knew that when they booked the show, and everybody knew him, but they went on the bus where Willie's band was, and they found a little bit of marijuana, I think, and they had done a show down in Georgia, and somebody gave them about a quart of booze. Of course, Willie was in a hotel down about 20 miles away. He wasn't on the bus. And when he found out about it, he canceled the show, which I can understand him doing. But it was really very troublesome to so many people, including myself, that we had a guy like Willie Nelson down in our county who was a great performer, had written so many good songs, Crazy, Family Bible, and the list goes on. And he canceled the show, and it was just a great, just a pure mess is what it was down here, Scott.
Yeah, you wrote it.
And I wrote.
I was going to say, you wrote a song about that, yeah.
Leave the Man Alone. Yeah, from what people told me about the show, and I think everything in the song is true. It was for me at least.
It's kind of unusual that you have a senator who is also a country music singer, so those are two quite different careers. But tell me a little bit of your political career, too.
Well, Scott, I had worked with the Department of Agriculture down here in the county and all the surrounding counties, and of course I played music. I served on the James Spunt Community College Board of Trustees for about 17 years, I think. So a lot of people knew me, but I think music was the thing that played as big a role as me having my success in politics as I did for all those years, 22 years, in fact, as anything. It just introduced me to so many people that I wouldn't have not have met, otherwise. But that's how I got elected to office. And I was, I'm an old fella, and I was born back in the 30s. So, and my family, during that time, most folks were Democrats. About 95% of the people were Democrats. So, I was just raised in a conservative Democratic family. So I just kind of kept that all the years. But that's the music played a big role in me getting elected politics.
Going back to your song, Three Little Words, tell me a little more about that. And tell me what Three Little Words stands for.
Well, I've learned, Scott, it doesn't take much to make a difference in someone's life. You can say a kind word, I love you, of course, is a great one, but you're the best, you're my hero, you're number one, keep looking up, love always wins, and you're the best, you're so true, you're so good, I thank you. Just so many three little words that we can use that can make a difference to people. And I'm looking forward to having this song and have it on YouTube, and you playing it, that means so much. And hopefully it'll make a difference in people's lives.
There's a lot of that in this world that's missing right now, and I think we need to get back to that again, don't you?
You're absolutely right, Scott, and that doesn't cost anything. One thing I've learned, it doesn't cost anything to be nice to people, and you'll always feel good about it. And most everybody I've ever known, there's something good you can say about them. We all have a good spot. We all have some things that aren't probably as good as they should be, but there's always some good in people. And most people have the same desires in life, and that is to be treated good with respect and let them know you think about them and care about them. It goes a long ways, I think. Scott, my father, I tell you this, and that kind of goes along with what we're talking about. I was helping my father work one day on a plant bed, sow tobacco plants. And we were raking that plant bed when I was a young boy. And, of course, I was raking that thing, trying to make sure all them little holes were filled up. And he looked at me one day, he said, son, I'll say one thing about you. He said, when you do something, you do it good. Boy, I've never forgotten. Now, that meant a lot to this young boy, I'm telling you. But that's kind of thing I'm talking about, with three little words.
Who are some of your favorite artists and influences in country music?
I think Ray Browse I've always liked his style. Of course, I learned to love and appreciate each one of them, Scott, quite frankly, because each one of the major players, has so much influence, and each one of them has something special about them. And I grew up with a family who lived pretty close to me. That there's two of the boys and one of the girls in the family. They played and sang, pad, piano, and banjo and guitar. I would go to their house at least twice a week. During the night, we would play. And so looking at them, listening to them, and that inspired me. And this blind lady a blind lady and her husband, they were both blind. But when I was a young boy, they would go around the churches and they would sing at the revivals like we used to have when I was growing up. And there was a song they would sing, and boy, they could harmonize on it. It was called "I Won't Have to Cross Jordan Alone."
There is a song on this CD that I wanted to ask you about. I first heard it. Mo Bandy recorded the song a few years ago and actually had an album called Lucky Me, and you have a great version on here, and I know that Ernie Rowell, who I'm also acquainted with, wrote the song.
Yeah, we did that song. I forgot what year it was, but I always liked that song. Jimmy had played it before, and he really put it together. I thought that guy just did a super job playing that song, and I enjoyed doing it so well. I always loved the song, and of course, Mo Bandy's got a great version of that same song, and like you said, it's the name of one of his CDs. Yeah, great song.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
Charlie, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and you've had quite a career. You're still going, and I'm so glad you've got new music on the way, and I hope you'll share it with me when you get it done. I'd love to play it for my listeners.
I surely will, Scott, and it's so great to be on your show. You're just a wonderful guy. You play, like I say, you play my kind of you play my kind of country for so many people who enjoy it. I'm honored to be on your show. Please know I am.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking with you today, and I want to thank you for your time. And you're going to play some of your fabulous music for our listeners. Again, Charlie Albertson's music you can find at Amazon and Apple Music, and you can get in touch with him on Facebook too. He's quite active on there, so get in touch with Charlie. You'll be glad you did. Charlie, thanks so much for being on My Kind of Country.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so honored and so happy to be on your show. Thank you so much, my friend.
California girl, you sure look pretty. You could bring most men to their knees. But if you knew what I had waiting for me, you just go away and let me be. 'Cause I do all my loving in Texas, not Arkansas or Tennessee. Do all my loving in Texas with the woman that's waiting for me. Mississippi girl, boy, you're a dandy, and there's no doubt you sure look fine. But you can't change my mind with wine and brandy. You keep your love and I'll keep mine. 'Cause I do all my loving in Texas, not Arkansas or Tennessee. I do all my loving down in Texas with the woman that's waiting for me. With the woman that's waiting for me. I'm thankful for the flowers whose blooms burst forth in spring. I'm thankful for the sun that shines and for the birds that sing. I'm thankful for the raindrops and for the morning dew. But most of all, I'm thankful, Lord, for you. I'm thankful for the friends I know who bring me so much joy. I'm thankful for a family, a wife, a girl, and boy. I'm thankful for America, with heroes brave and true. But most of all, I'm thankful, Lord, for you. For you're the one who made this big wide world and all therein, and gave your son named Jesus to save us from our sin. I'm thankful for each blessing when the day is through. But most of all, I'm thankful, Lord, for you. Oh, but most of heart for you. Look at me, what did I do to ever deserve someone like you? Without your love, oh, where would I be? Beautiful you, lucky me. Darling, I love you more and more every day. I thank the Lord for sending you my way. I've been searching such a long, long time. I can't believe you're really mine. Look at me, finding you, a ray of sunshine out of the blue. You picked me up when I was down and out, showed me what true love's all about. Look at me, what did I do to ever deserve someone like you? Without your love, oh, where would I be? Beautiful you, lucky me. Most people search for love a whole lifetime, and some will never find the lasting kind. I thought my dreams never would come true until the day that I met you. Look at me, what did I do to ever deserve someone like you? Without your love, oh, where would I be? Beautiful you, lucky me. Beautiful you, look at me. It meant a lot to me when my friends said, keep the faith. I've learned it doesn't take much to make a difference in someone's life. It can be something as simple as 3 little words mean so much, spoken in love, how they touch. They can put hearts at ease. Big little words, words like these. You're the best, you're always true. You're so good, I thank you. You're so nice, you're so fine. God bless you, glad you're mine. You're so kind, you're so sweet, sent from heaven, can't be beat. You're an angel, you're special too. You're my everything, I love you. 3 little words mean so much, spoken in love, how they touch. No sweeter music, 'tis so true, than someone saying I love you. You're my hero, you're number one. You're a winner, job well done. Don't quit now, keep looking up. Believe in yourself, never give up. You are forgiven, you're my friend. Forget the past, let's make amends. Don't you worry, we can win. Keep the faith, love never ends. Three little words mean so much, spoken in love, how they touch, work like magic when they're